Hello and welcome to Question Time. I'm Benga Ashiru. Since the executive governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, took over the mantle of leadership in 2016, the political atmosphere in Kogi State can be said to be no longer at ease. Kogi State in the last 1 year has been through storms of non-payment of salaries and pension arrears, a crushing assembly crisis, long-drawn litigation over claim to the governorship seat, a recall proceeding of one of its senators from the Blues, allegation of double registration pointed at the governor himself. Please join in this conversation. Send us a comment on our social media platforms. For bookmakers of the Kogi Inside Story, it's been a rather torrid tale of high drama with every plot caught up in political intrigues and power play. In the light of these antecedents, how would posterity preserve Governor Yahaya Bello and what lies ahead of him in the coming days? Will Governor Bello extend the olive branch to his political foes, or will he stand his ground on his political ideology and damn the consequences? Join us in this engaging interview with the governor of Kogi State, Governor Alhaji Yahaya Bello.
We came into office on 27th of January 2016. We inherited up to 3-4 months salaries. We cleared them. I think those that has been accusing me of owing salaries up to that amount are uninformed, and they are misinforming the public. As of December 2017, we are up to date in the payment of salary.
The reports available to us shows that you've only paid 40%, even in spite of the Paris loan reform, and you're claiming that you had to borrow 10 billion to offset these debts.
Exactly. When we assumed office, like I said, we have over-bloated civil service. We screen, as we screen, we pay. As of December, the available resources, we have to sit down with the union of the Nigerian Labour, various unions and the TUCs. And we said, this is a valuable fund. How do we go about it? Over 16 billion expended in paying those salaries. And we all agreed as to how to prorate it across and then leave that behind, then while we cross over to January. And that's exactly how we did it.
What about the pension arrears?
The pension arrears, everything cleared. Everything
up to date.
Up to date. And like I said, we shall publish it very soon. Within the next 1 or 2 weeks, we shall publish it in the dailies. And the whole Nigerians will see how we utilize the fund.
Though honestly lies ahead that wears the crown, but your own case, the narrative has been so overwhelming almost from the outset of your administration. Kogi State has been what can be called no longer at ease. Why is this so?
Well, no longer at ease, yes, for those who are bent on bringing down the state. Those who have contributed in no small measure in ruining that state before I came on board. And to them, I'm a young man, a nobody who has assumed the mantle of leadership in Kogi State.
When you say when you say Kogi State, that people who have been determined to bring down the states, why would anyone be so determined to bring down a state?
I don't think I will go too far to give you a straight answer. We have governors before me, and then evaluate the infrastructural level of the state. Why were salaries owed despite the huge amount of money they received before I assumed office? Legislative were owed. The legislatures were owed, the judiciary were owed, the civil servants were owed, the traditional rulers were owed, the pensioners were owed. And look at the infrastructure, the level of decay in the infrastructure of the state. It's not as if we're not receiving, subventions and IGR being generated.
But sorry, we'll come back to that. Let me take you, because we need to get it straight.
Yeah.
When you say the problem is Kogi State, the problem of Kogi State is as a result of people who are bent on bringing down the state before you're coming on board. Does that suggest your coming on board triggered this process?
These various administrations receive huge amount of money and nothing to show for it. In fact, they threw the state into huge debt that we are paying as we speak, and nothing to show for it. Now we are making efforts to pull the state out. The Kogi state used to be referred to as civil service state. And as such, the industry is putting names in the government payroll and then taking the money out. But we're changing the narratives today. And they wouldn't want this young man to do the job because they know that they will never have any space in Kogi State as far as Kogi State's polity is concerned.
People say that the crisis is as a result of the fact that you never really participated in the electoral process, that you are a creation of the party and not of the people.
That is false. I participated in all the process, and that has been affirmed by the Supreme Court of the land. And I think I leave it at that. I took the risk. We saw the state at which the state was at that time, how it is being managed. And we, the young ones, came together, and I was nominated amongst us to run for that office. I bought form. I participated in the primaries, and I came second. In the general election, when God Almighty took, recall our leader, late Prince Abubakar Audu, I completed the general election, and I was sworn in. So it is not, in fact, even in the supplementary election, I won the incumbent, even in his local government, in Dekina local government. I won him. So what are people saying?